A $250 gaming smartphone, which Infinix bundled with the famous PUBG styling and audio tuned by JBL and try to convince us that it may be 2024's best value performance-oriented handy. But is it? Let's inspect. Right, well, this looks different. It has clean, bloatware-free, as they call it, pure Android, and it comes with a 144Hz AMOLED display with pretty decent system on a chip, dedicated visual processor, a large battery, and if I keep on talking about specifications, yeah, I'm kind of asking myself the question, how is it possible to fit in so much of good hardware in a 2024 smartphone? And yeah, I guess we're here in order to find out which are the strong sides, but also to talk about the possibly corners cut and figure out whether the Infinix GT 20 Pro is the best value gaming smartphone of 2024. Yes, great to meet you, by the way. I'm the Tech Mishka. On the channel we inspect a lot of cool and interesting tech, and I invite you to subscribe and watch this video till the end because there's gonna be a lot of gaming happening, and since I'm not the best example of a gamer, we're gonna take Alex, who's gonna do most of the gaming, and now time to dive into it. The brand Infinix is part of Transsion Holdings, which besides China is available in multiple Asian, Latin American, lately Indian markets. More to come. Therefore, if you live in Europe and USA, you might have to import the phone from somewhere else. But it is a fact that it has good hardware, proper Android builds which regularly pass Google's approvals, and there seem to be regular updates. It might sound surprising, but the niche with budget gaming-oriented smartphones is currently not that busy, meaning that Infinix seem to have a pretty good plan this time. The unboxing experience is, well, it's different in the good way. First of all, this is a special limited box edition. As far as I understand, it may not make it to the retail network, but you may buy additionally some of these accessories. The extras involve the shoulder triggers, a graphene case, and some active cooling. The GT20 Pro retail pack is also remarkable. It sort of feels like a quest when you're opening it. It definitely underlines the gaming DNA of the phone and makes it feel quite special. It's definitely among the best kind of experience I've ever had with unboxing a smartphone thus far. As part of the assembly, there's a protective case, well covering all the phone edges, lightweight and in line with the design of the phone, and a tempered glass screen protector. Here's the GT20 Pro. You can have it in a few colors, and the PUBG styling is pretty awesome. This one, in my hands, looks pretty cool too. A quick check on the sides, and the phone has this Sound by JBL stamp, a little infrared LED, well-disguised cut, volume and power buttons which are at the same side, plastic frame with silver paint on top so that it feels like metal. Holding in the hand feels great. It is a bit thinner than most 2024 devices with 20:9 aspect ratio. There's a fairly interesting LED section on the back called the mecha loop design. The term comes from Japanese. In science fiction, mecha or mechs are giant robots or machines typically depicted as humanoid walking vehicles. It's good to know that there also is a wall charger and even a Type-C wired headset included in the accessories. Just a quick note, I'm not sure whether the headset is available for all the regions because I've seen reports that in certain countries it might be missing. If you want a sneak peek at the tech specs, let's go for it. The phone is proudly powered by the Dimensity 8200 Ultra, has 256 gigs of flash and 12 or 8 gigabytes of RAM, a 144Hz AMOLED screen, there's a dedicated display chip, a 5000 mAh battery with 45-watt quick charging, stereo speaker system tuned by JBL, a 108-megapixel main camera with optical stabilization, a 32-megapixel selfie camera, most current connectivity standards, and is being released with Android 14 and the Infinix skin called XOS for GT. If a few months ago somebody has told me that in 2024 we're going to have a smartphone with that many good hardware specifications and a price of somewhere between 200 and 300 bucks, I was about to remain very doubtful, but here I am holding this phone in my hands. Well, there are a few interesting facts about the GT20 Pro by Infinix. First of all, this gaming smartphone is not powered by a Snapdragon SoC, which is the traditional choice for most gaming devices. Well, inside we have a Dimensity 8200 Ultimate, And Dimensity is manufactured by MediaTek, a company which has shown us in the past few years that they not only can match Qualcomm and their Snapdragons in terms of performance, they can sometimes be better and have sometimes better overall battery performance, and they never enter into any throttling or overheating conditions, which for gamers is particularly important. Not only that, but Infinix have decided to pair this SoC with a visual processor by Pixelworks. It's the X5 Plus model, and its responsibility is to offload the GPU in order to eliminate the risk of overheating and provide you better visual experience by delivering higher and more constant refresh rate of the display, which actually in gaming works pretty well. And not only that, but this smartphone has a whole lot of other goodies. Well, there's an infrared port for the infrared blaster, meaning that you can use the phone as a remote control for most of your home appliances. It has a pretty large battery inside, 5,000 mAh capacity and 45 watt quick charging. Pretty interesting software solutions, but I know the focus here is about gaming, so let me show you how far Alex managed to push this smartphone when it comes to heavy gaming. So, I'm armed with thermal cameras, patience, and a lot of hope that GT20 Pro is going to deliver what it promises to. While you watch PUBG 90 frames per second at the moment, let me announce that a new update of the game is going to allow the phone to run it in 120 FPS. It's not just the display, but also the mecha LED effects that you can enjoy in certain scenes. Customizable. I've seen other brands attempting to achieve somewhat similar, but this one is quite decent, and yes, I'm referring to nothing. It's a good moment to showcase these shoulder buttons, as well as the specially designed case made by graphene, which is helping the phone to dissolve any extra heat if available. And if at some point you feel that it's getting too warm for your taste, this is one possible solution. In the end, that's an important goal for gaming smartphones, because when the processor inside gets warm, it may enter in the so-called throttling condition, where it temporarily reduces the performance in order to also reduce the heat dissipation and therefore the temperature. The Dimensity line is famous for handling this process really well, and it's rarely going into throttling conditions. And even without the fan, we have had very stable and sustained gaming experience. Actually, Infinix will invite you to push the phone to the limits all the time, sharing all the social media tutorials how you can configure the most popular games for best visual experience, and it works so well. Gaming feels absolutely adorable, even outdoors where visibility remains great. Infinix take care of providing as many goodies as possible, including this game assistant panel to control the performance while you're gaming, and the X Arena feature, which is showing real-time monitoring while you're actually gaming. And yes, we can confirm that whatever Infinix promised that GT22 Pro can do about refresh rate in gaming is there. Stable 60 frames per second in maximum settings for Genshin Impact. This is crazy good. There also is the option to run it in 120 FPS mode, which for this game is going to be interpolated. The phone will insert an extra frame in between for smoothing the experience. It's quite impressive how stable the phone remains after long periods of gaming. Alex quite enjoyed the experience with Call of Duty Mobile. Undeniably, the experience that you get is nothing but flagship grade. For $250. Well done. Now we know rock-solid gaming performance, which means that any sort of multimedia or heavy computing task is going to feel the same way. Cameras are a different beer, though. Infinix deploy a modest Samsung-made image sensor, namely the HM6, pair it with optical image stabilization and try to extract as much as possible out of it. The HM6 is quite an average performer. It is the heart of the camera of many other mid-rangers, such as the Redmi Note 13, some OnePlus Nord CE editions, or the Galaxy M54 series. Technically, there are 3 modules on the back, but it is not called a triple camera setup for a reason. The remaining 2 are the 2-megapixel macro module, and the other one is the 2-megapixel depth module, meaning that we have no ultra-wide camera. Honestly, I would happily trade the useless 2 modules for a basic ultra-wide shooter. but it is what it is, and surprisingly Infinix focus a lot in the main camera, which I feel is capable of utilizing close to the maximum out of the hardware present and can even record videos in 4K 60 FPS resolution. Yeah, this is matching the maximum video resolution of the twice more expensive Nothing Phone 2, for instance. Right, before the wrap-up, I need to showcase the software. True, it is not stock Android, and Infinix presented as Zero Bloatware Edition. It is called XOS, a skin and customized menus applied on top of Android 14. As stated, the phone is going to receive 2 major updates and 3 years of security patches, hopefully even more. The interface is well balanced, and I could describe it as a mixture between Xiaomi's MIUI and Realme UI. It's very snappy, really has almost no bloatware with exception for a few service apps by Infinix. There seem to be no shady services running. All of the Google apps are of course present. I totally like the rich customization of gestures, the very practical special functions area, and the overall feeling that this gaming-oriented skin is providing. Floating windows, dynamic bar, MEM fusion, the mentioned Mecha LED config, even out-of-the-box phone calls recorder. I feel that most of you are going to quite like the software, because it combines the great amount of customizations packed in builds such as MIUI, but keeps the lightweight feeling of, let's say, the OnePlus software experience. Now, there's been a lot of praising, because we have the good reasons to do so, but inevitably, it's time to talk about the weak spots. There is no wireless charging, there is no 3.5mm jack, which some gamers are really going to miss, there is no proper waterproofing, no ultra-wide camera, the frame is just plastic and easily scratches, and the phone is not yet available in Europe and the United States. In the end, there's something I really appreciate about tech companies lately, and with marketing becoming so powerful in the past few years, kind of making it possible to twist your disappointment into something kind of a different feeling, I believe that when a tech company delivers on what it promises that it's going to deliver, that's really a great thing to appreciate. And in the case of GT20 Pro by Infinix, it not only delivers, I think it kind of exceeds the expectations. And don't get me wrong, this is in no way a true flagship smartphone, not at all. But I feel that it might be the best value gaming smartphone of 2024, because Infinix, they played their cards really well. They've taken a budget-friendly mid-range system on a chip, they've paired it with a visual processor so that they can maintain a more constant and high refresh rate. And the major difference between this smartphone and the flagships of 2024 is a price somewhere between $500 and $1,000. You know, in terms of visual overall gaming experience and sustained performance, you wouldn't notice any difference. At least that's my opinion, and kind of well explains why this device has been chosen to be the official smartphone of the PUBG Super League. And if you're asking yourself the question whether I recommend it, I totally do, but I'm really eager to hear about your opinion in the comment section below the video. Be invited, I try to respond to pretty much everyone, so in case you have a question or something to share from your own experience, I'll be very happy to read it. And that's everything about today's episode. I hope it was useful. If that's the case, give me a like. If you want to see more of the same, subscribe to the channel for more cool tech inspections. And if you want to support me in my journey to explore more and cooler tech, then maybe you can become a channel member. Thank you very much for watching this episode. I'm the Tech Mishka. Stay safe, wish you a fantastic day, and hope to see you soon. Bye.